A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, let me thank the SWI for this beautiful event where professionals from various spheres have gathered here for learning, for takeaways. And this is very important in today's world because we've discussed enough that working in silos is not going to help us. We have to work together, collaborate, cooperate, because we need to generate that critical mass, which one could also call as the escape velocity, if we want to co-create the reality which all of us are looking at, that is safe, secure, sustainable cities and systems as a whole. I will briefly touch upon the 9 programs which we have evolved in our organization, which is a part of the UP Police. It's called the UP Police Mahila Samman Prakosht. Since there isn't much time, I'll just briefly touch upon 8 of them. One I will describe in detail, which is a web portal, for which I believe largely the award has gone to MSP, so I'll dwell on it more than the others. So this is a package of 9 programs through which we largely try to give a 360-degree cover to the issue of women's security. We have 2 other areas where we work upon. One is related to child safety and security, and the third one is we are also the nodal agency for the state efforts in anti-human trafficking. So we call this a gender-sensitive community policing package. I would like to set the context of UP. I think you need to add a bit more to this because this is of the last census. So if you see we have 110 million plus women in the state, add to it the child population. So that is what we are expected to look after. The last 2 are the UN figures. Every 36th woman of the world lives in UP. So you can understand the context. When I go a bit further, because I'm setting the context with a reason, it's a largely rural dominated, rural area state. We are talking of digital inclusion, the digital empowerment programs, but I find that there is a huge digital divide between the urban and the rural areas, and even in that, there is a digital divide which I call the digital gender divide. Women at large are not able to access all the developments which we are seeing in the digital world. Thirdly, now I'm setting the context, I have identified 2 things. The third thing is, we talk of the Adhi Abadi. 50% of the population is that of women. But in a society where there is a predominant patriarchal setup, there is a culture of silence where we tell our women and girls not to speak about their problems. There is a culture of victim blaming. When the woman or the girl goes to a police station to talk about any violation on her body or mind, the first question asked normally is, what did you do to invite such a situation? Having said this context, I would now like to talk about the 8+1 programs. This is our organization. It's called Uttar Pradesh Police Mahila Samman Prakosht. That is our logo. You will see a W and E meaning women empowerment, and also we as in you and us. Because right from the beginning, it was very clear to us that nothing other than community policing, and in this case, gender-sensitive community policing, nothing other than this is going to work. We have to link up our citizens. We are still governed by the 1861 Act, but owing to the new world order, I would say, we cannot be bound by that act. We need to walk beyond, we need to step beyond. Then you see our motto, it's called Suraksha Bhi, Samman Bhi. Because most of these issues are human rights issues. And if we are able to give the dignity which a human being deserves, most of these issues are resolved. So that is our motto. It's an ISO 9001-2008 certified organization. These are the areas which we work in, as I said, 3 areas: women empowerment, child-related issues, and anti-human trafficking efforts. So now what are these 8 programs? The first one is legal literacy, because we believe, in fact, our hashtag is Janiye Apna Kanun, Paiye Apna Adhikar. Unless the women come to know about the laws of the land, they would get nowhere. So this first program is dissemination of legal information about the laws of the land related to women and children. This we do through posters, handbills, standees, and yes, we have an SMS platform too, on which we disseminate the laws in very in a concise way, off and on, off and on. The second program is a program called Rubaru. We believe that cops should be mentors too. So we go to the schools, and we've covered about 28,000 plus children in different schools. We tell them about, again, the laws related to women and children. This program is called Rubaru because it is an interaction, amne samne. And we also talk to them about cyberbullying and cases of cyber insecurity, which they need to look into. And we also take 2 counselors with us from a reputed NGO. The third program is a program of linking the citizens, the women. It is in fact our way of reaching out to the women. In fact, it is a way of channelizing the informal leadership which we find in islands in our society. So we get these women on board, we call them citizen cadets, we give them identity cards, and we use them to take our mission forward through dissemination of knowledge about law, dissemination about our other programs, and we also use them as eyes and ears for the local police. In fact, we act as a platform for connecting the various organizations and people who would like to be associated in such an effort. This is a totally voluntary service which the Government of India has also started from this year, the WCD department. The next program is called Akshaya, self-defense, because we found that girls were very keen to get self-defense programs done in their schools. So we again connected NGOs and private people, private trainers who would be giving self-defense trainings to these girls. This is exclusively for the girls. Rubaru was for the boys and girls. And it is free training, so it is quite popular. We've covered about 6,000 students in various schools, and just this month, we tried for a Limca record in one of the schools in the back of Beyond district of Pratapgarh in UP. So this is Akshaya. The fifth program is called Sarthi, because we gender sensitize the auto drivers, the city bus conductors and drivers, the e-rickshaw drivers and all of them. We talk about these issues because Mahila Samman Prakosht believes that unless we talk about these issues, the idea is to push them under the carpet. No, that will not work. So we need to involve all the stakeholders. And whatever program we have designed is based on the 3P model. Because we know that alone, the police department cannot rise up to the occasion which the situation now demands. Sixth is a program called Jagriti, wherein we rope in public figures and celebrities to take these issues forward into the public. Eighth is a program which we do with our own people called the Nav Chetna, that is new consciousness. Not that, it's very easy to blame कि पुलिस वाला काम नहीं करता है. But then we need to see that they are also emerging from the same social milieu where gender-related issues are happening in their own homes. So we call it new consciousness. We talk to our own people. We tell them about the new laws. We tell them that the time has come for you to change yourself, because if you don't change yourself, time will force you to change yourself, and that becomes very hard. So we talk about the new laws. We talk about the behavior which police in general needs to change if there is to be a trust between the citizens and the police. The last program is called Shodh Evang Samvad. This is a kind of research and dialogue, a program in which we hold roundtables, conferences, debates on issues related to gender. These are some of the tools which we use to carry forward our mission. And now I come to the program, presumably for which the Mahila Samman Prakosht got this award, Innovative Technology for Safety and Security of Women. Now this is an online reporting system exclusively for crime against women. And presumably it is the first of its kind in the country. Now what is it about? The idea was, as I said when I was setting the context, it is very difficult for women to go to the police station to narrate their woes. So this is a vikalp, means an alternative to the woman from going to the police station. And the concept behind this is the police station at your doorstep. How it is, I'm going to explain. First of all, the woman, whoever is an aggrieved person or somebody on her behalf, files a complaint, logs onto the website of UP Police, and then you have the Mahila Samman Prakosht tab, and you open it, and the menu comes down, and the home page you log in the complaint. It is bilingual. अंग्रेजी जिसको सुविधा हो इंग्लिश में करें, largely it is in Hindi. Option to upload video, image or text. Generally we are getting the complaints in the form of texts. She can lodge the complaint herself or through someone. Then there is confidentiality of the victim. Her name is kept at the back end but not displayed. Nobody can access the name and address, so she will not be identified. The complainant gets an ID, it's an unique ID, it's a digital acknowledgement of the complaint. अमूमन होता है कि साहब थाने पे कंप्लेन किया, कंप्लेन ही खो गया, FIR मिल ही नहीं रही है. Once a complaint is entered in this system, it just doesn't go out of it. So that is one great feeling of power for the complainant. She takes back a digital acknowledgement of her complaint. As soon as the complaint is it 10 minutes? What? Huh? An SMS is fired because that is how the monitoring starts. The SMS goes to the senior officers of the police station concerned, and one SMS comes to us, and the monitoring begins. One bottom line which I would like to say in this, because of the time constraint, that there can be beautiful systems, but unless you have the human being, the human component which is trained, and the human component which works from the heart, the time has come for the police to have its heart in the right place. This is one example where continuous monitoring and giving of quality policing has succeeded. There is transparency, there's accountability, it has sustainability, scalability, and all the other elements of smart policing. I would just like to end with the request that there are officers from other states also, in case you want to adopt this, we are open to it. Please come and take our help, because what we have seen is, if you just see this is analysis of the data. Normally it is said that ICT does not reach the rural areas. Here you will see month after month, this is the data which we unbox. 52% of the complaints are coming from the urban areas, 48% from the rural areas. If you see the last bar, the police action, that is the response, the police response, it is as high as 96%. Whatever gets into this system, the ATR is generated within, it has to be generated within 24 hours. Otherwise, we talk to the SPs, we write to the SPs, and we continuously monitor. UP has 75 districts. The ones in red are the districts where more of the complaints are coming from the rural areas. So you'll see it is roughly balanced. And there are areas back of beyond, like Hardoi and Hamirpur. Hamirpur is in the Bundelkhand area of UP, which is very, I would say, back of beyond. But see the number of complaints that are coming, and see the number of complaints that are being addressed. One other thing, we are not looking at numbers in this, we are looking at quality policing. So unless the complainant says we are satisfied with what action has been taken in our case, it just does not go out of the system, and she or anybody on her behalf who has put up the complaint has the right to check up the ATR and give the feedback, which Mahila Samman Prakosht continuously monitors. So much, I'll just rest it at that, although there were other features also, but I guess we are short of time. So thank you very much for giving a patient hearing to me, and I hope the other states would adopt this, because it has worked, so you can take it from us and spread it across. Thank you so much.